You know, I think in the next 3 years, the gold price could be around $3,200 to $3,500 an ounce, just based on the amount of money that's been printed. The silver price is much more exciting. I would say that, we're at 25. We could easily get back up to 47. We've already been there with less debt and less money floating around. So I'll keep it at 50. I think it can go higher than that, but I'd like to think that in the next 3 years, we can get to 50.
I started in 1964 with silver. And I said, it's not how much per ounce, it's how many ounces do you have?
Right.
And today you can't even get the stuff. And this is what Kim is talking about here is demand is at an all-time high from the retail, like we're retail. Then there's the professionals like Tesla, Sony, Apple. They buy silver for production in industry. And there's retail guys like us who buy it from outside. But the problem is the price is manipulated. So here we have all-time high demand. I can't even get the stuff. The price is going down, and people are going nuts. I mean, I call people up and I say, "Have you got any silver?" They go, "No," but the price is going down. So why is that, Kevin?
Well, again, you have the paper side of the market selling off the paper side, and on the physical side that this paper should be backed by. You can't get any. At the beginning of the program, we talked about the U.S. Mint had shut down production of silver American Eagles. They only have a few jobs to do, and that would be a big one, right? To produce silver American Eagles and gold American Eagles. And they've just discontinued the silver American Eagle program, saying that it was a design change. In reality, I just don't believe they can get the silver at all. Silver's forecast is much, much better, in my opinion, than the gold, because the Biden administration is looking at implementing a $2 trillion, climate program or green energy. And if you look in 2019, solar panels used about 100 million ounces of silver that year. I don't have 2020 numbers yet, but 100 million ounces in 2020. If they're going to add, which is about $2.5 billion, by the way, if they're going to add $2 trillion to that, and some of that's going to find its way into solar, then I think silver is going to get much, much more difficult to get over the next 24 to 36 months than where we are today.
And Kevin, when you say the U.S. Mint cannot get silver, is it a mining issue, or is there not enough silver to be mined? How come the government cannot get it?
Well, over the past 9 months or so, you've seen here in the United States and even around the world, just an enormous amount of investor demand for physical silver. At the same time, you had a lot of the mines shutting down or working half shifts because of the pandemic. So you had this perfect storm happening where the physical supply wasn't coming out of the ground, but the demand side of it, when you look into the future, is much greater than what the supply side can get to market anyway.
Well, that's the whole point. Is I think they've sold it. It's not there.
Well, yeah. So some of these mines pre-sell their silver production through a futures contract, so they know the price that they can sell it for when they pull it out of the ground. So a lot of it has already been spoken for. I don't know how you're going to include this $2 trillion and how much of it's going to go into solar, but a decent amount of it will, because it's one of the most popular green energy products out there. So, if we went to 200 million ounces, about $5 billion worth of additional demand, not counting investor demand and other industrial demand, the price of silver should be much, much higher than where we are today.
So when would a person buy paper silver or paper gold in ETF?
If you purchase silver and it's extremely heavy, purchase as much of the physical silver as you possibly can. If you don't want to put it in a depository and you feel more comfortable calling up your stockbroker and saying, "Hey, I want to buy more silver through an exchange traded fund," really what you're doing is just betting on the price of silver. There's nothing backing it, or there is something backing it, but not 100%. Of all of your money is going to be backed by the physical silver. So you're really just, I believe silver is going to go up, and I want to play that out through an exchange traded fund.
So if the silver runs out, they're just going to give you dollars back. They're not going to give you silver.
Well, correct. They couldn't give you silver today. I think if all the exchange traded funds wanted to pay out physical silver, I don't think that is possible.
Anyway, any further words of wisdom if all the years you've been behind the scenes? So, Kim and I just buy, we store it. We don't sell it. We don't move it. So any advice for people who are newbies coming into the market for the first time or want to get more education? What do they need to know that only a person like you would know?
I think it's think longer term. You've brought up, I started purchasing gold before it was legal, back in the war. And, gold was trading at $35 an ounce, and here we are at $1,700 an ounce. The silver market has gone up tremendously. Its all-time high is $47 an ounce. I think people have become so enamored in making money overnight, like GameStop and the cryptocurrencies. Just take it more slowly with your physical precious metals. Just start accumulate over long periods of time. You look back, it's amazing how much wealth you can accumulate when they're pumping up this much, dollars into the economy and this much debt. I think taking it slow and thinking long term are my best pieces of advice.
And your longer term with your expertise, where do you see the price of gold and silver going?
I think in the next 3 years, the gold price could be around $3,200 to $3,500 an ounce, just based on the amount of money that's been printed. The silver price is much more exciting. I would say that, we're at 25. We could easily get back up to 47. We've already been there with less debt and less money floating around. So I'll keep it at 50. I think it can go higher than that, but I'd like to think that in the next 3 years, we can get to 50.
Yeah, my number is 100, just because I remember when silver hit 50 and then it dropped right back down when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the market. And I've been waiting for 50. It touched it lightly, but I think, the demand is just so high because of the Green New Deal.
Absolutely.
The demand. Gold is not really used. It's not an industrial. But silver is not only a money or a currency, but it's also industrial. And the supplies are down. The supplies are down.
It's very expensive to start a mine and try to find more silver. There's not a lot of silver reserves out there. It's an incredibly capital intensive business. So you're not just going to go out and open up a mine and it's going to be up and running in 6 months. Usually those are 3 to 5 year projects. So there's not going to be a lot of additional silver coming on the market.
Well, you're talking to two people who started 2 mines. Kim and I started a silver mine in Argentina and a gold mine in China. We don't have them anymore. Once again, I'll go back to Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. And the reason we're in financial trouble today is because without financial education, people have no idea what Gresham's law means. And Gresham's law brought to power people like Adolf Hitler and Stalin and those guys because of fake money. So the reason Kim and I, for all these years, we don't save dollars, we save gold and silver. And now we do have some Bitcoin because when COVID hit, I thought, oh, hallelujah, brother, so we bought Bitcoin at very low prices, but we stopped. But we always save gold and silver because it's just what Kim says, it's called liquidity. Liquidity means there's somebody always out there who wants to buy it. Is that correct, Kevin?
Yeah, that's right.
Would you buy it back?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We've always purchased everything that we've sold. And the other great part of that piece of news is if you take a stock here in the United States and go over to China, they may or may not purchase that particular stock. But if you take an ounce of gold anywhere in the world, it's worth the same price anywhere you go. So that's a great store of value and a lot of liquidity.